Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. Once we start that program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. The number to call is 442-0175. We are 91.9, 91.5. We are on We Noise FM in Brooklyn, 94.9. We are on YouTube, and you can put us on anywhere you want. Share the program. Share the program, subscribe to the program, like the program, tell your friends about the program, and discuss some of the issues that you feel good about, or you're angry about, or you're upset about. You know, we promise you that we speak in the truth. We try to avoid breaking news, but we speak in the truth. And if at any time you believe we say something that is not clear, you can always inquire and we will explain. We give our opinion on any issues. We fear no subject matter. Opinions are not facts. They are opinions, and they are based upon the information you have and your own prejudice. In this present time, because this government is not giving out information, you're going to have rumors and speculation running wild. And people may well express opinion that if they get new information, they're going to change. And that is why I always encourage members of the National Democratic Congress that your policy is not in your interest. You're hiding information, and we're searching. And if we see smoke, we're going to assume there is fire. So it is in your interest to provide information for us. Otherwise, you go always having to play catch-up game. The correct moment for you to have this rude awakening that your policy is counterproductive. It is not good. You're going nowhere fast. Is now. We are in Holy Week. The Bible perhaps never say Holy Week. You have a lot of things the Bible never say. The Bible was put together about 300 years after Christ. Them Catholics do that. And Holy Week, the Greeks call it Great Week, but the Christians call it Holy Week. And Holy Week starts from Palm Sunday. Christ was riding on a jackass. He going on the road and fellas waving palm branch and singing an upbeat song. So some of them must be whining too. I know the feeling. They had a palm branch and they waving. Christ on a jackass and they behind and they whining. And they singing Hosanna in the heights. Hot song for those times. Like soca long ago. So some of them must be whining. So that is the most important period in Christianity. Almost all the things that happen. The fact that Christ was given 39 lashes. They flog him. 39 lash. And they pull the clothes from his back so hard that skin come out with it. He was bleeding. And they make him carry his cross. And they nail him on a cross. So because all these things happen within 1 week, in Christendom, it is described as a great week, as a holy week. Even the cross that he died on, later on people want to touch the cross. And they said, I wasn't there, I don't know if it's true. Well, I believe. They say some people touch the cross and they get healed. When that happens, people looking for the nail they push inside Christ. And some of them touch it and get healed. Even Atticus, even those who push the spear inside Christ, they say water fall on somebody and he get healed. So in Christendom, this week is the holiest of holies. A great week. They didn't write Holy Week in the Bible. They can't write everything in the Bible. So today, Thursday, is Maundy Thursday. Or Holy Thursday. Or Maundy Thursday. Maundy means commandment. I think the Latin for it, these things have Latin mean mandatum. I don't know if I pronounce it right. I can't even speak English good, much less to pronounce Latin good. So this week is and today, on Thursday, you had the Last Supper. It's a period for humility, selflessness, and service. So when Christians celebrate today as a day of solemnity with reverence, they're supposed to remember the commandment. That is why they say Maundy Thursday. Maundy in Latin means mandament or something. It means commandment. Because they preach love, selflessness, and service. So even if you're high and mighty, when Holy Week comes, you're supposed to examine yourself. You're supposed to recognize humility, selflessness, and service to others. Very important week. The entire week is the holiest of holy. You have a number of people now who don't believe. And during that time, you have people that don't believe too. But for those who believe, they genuinely recognize this week as a great week. So in Latin, the Latin churches, they wouldn't say holy. They say great week. Maundy Thursday. And the Thursday is significant. Some of us in Grenada know we're on a high horse. We're arrogant. We're disrespectful. We're showing off on others. We think some people is classless and commoners. So we now, more than ever, need to recognize Holy Thursday. Today is a day of humility, selflessness, and service. In this part of the world, when somebody shake the dust from their feet was like a curse. Remember the guy in Iraq pelted 2 shoes behind bush? He pelted 2 shoes behind bush. It's a great insult. And long ago, people's foot used to dirty because they walking barefooted. So today, they have the washing of feet. On Thursday afternoon, you have the washing of feet. Imagine the priests have to go and wash people's foot. Sometimes I might go, I don't know if they might find me foot too dirty, or I go and wash my foot too. I take out my shoe, I don't put in. If I know how to wash my foot, I don't wear no shoe. But some people clean their foot clean. Because of pride. They don't want the congregation to say their foot dirty. But it's a very humbling act to remind leaders they're supposed to serve the people. You're not supposed to call people commoners. You're not supposed to think you're more than people. You have to serve the people. I wish I could have hold deacon and bring him in the church this evening and make them wash his foot. And after that, encourage him to wash the disciples' foot. All the 12 disciples, particularly those that snatch NDC from the conventional believers, to wash their foot as a humbling act. After that, deacon might stop travel, might stop call people classless and beggy, because he's going to realize that he comes from poor people too, from Munich with foreign. You know? So that is the purpose of Holy Week. So we must know why we do what we do. You just pump up your chest and walking around tongue and saying things, and then 2 minutes you have to hide. Like all the individuals who was the guardrails for Grenada, accountability, transparency, and good governance. All of them take bush. They're hiding. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, my topic here today though is the lumber creation of the board ahead from the execution.
You kind of you say that over again and stay close to the whatever gadget that you have, because we're not hearing you properly. Go ahead. Caller, please call back. We were not able to hear what you say. So this is a good day for us to look at ourselves. Every time in life, you must sit down and look at yourself. People have their birthday, they're making a fete, they want to celebrate. Sometimes when I encounter young people tell me there is a birthday, I say, did you thank your mother? Did you thank your father for making you even though you don't mind you? You know they could have bought you. You not have a chance to celebrate nobody. First thing you thank the people, the bus driver that brought you to school. Sometimes you don't pay him, thank him. When your birthday come, you must thank people. Don't only say you want to make party and go and beg people for money to make party. You must first be thankful. We have to be a thankful people. Bombs are not falling in Grenada. Yes, we have problems, but our problems is joke for what other countries are experiencing. In Yemen and Sudan and the Congo, Ukraine and Israel and the PLO and the Palestinians, they're in real problem. Some of them living in tent. So when this period comes in Holy Week, it helps you to reflect on how fortunate you are, how grateful you should be, and why you do what you do. Holy Week. So this is the holiest of holies. And we must be able to practicalize these stories in our life. And it's supposed to help us to be better people. So today is Maundy Thursday. Holy Thursday. Yes. Oh, today is Wednesday. Yeah. Sorry. Today is Wednesday. Holy Week, but today is Wednesday. So tomorrow, you see how I take in front. That would be a Christian that they whining there in Jesus Christ coming on the jackass. You don't even hearing what Christ saying, you know. But Hosanna in the highest, music, and the Christian coming. You don't even hearing what Christ saying. You just join the crowd. And you see people waving palm branch and they're dancing. You know that. Go out when they're celebrating. Some people don't know what they're celebrating, but the action. So you're going to find that in our life. But this week is an important week, and all Christians, if you have a Christian that don't see any significance or importance in this week, that is a Christian without much knowledge about Christianity. A kind of just come Christian. But if you go back and you study history, and there is all justification, and this is what makes Christianity look so genuine. They have a good story. Muslims don't have the story. Muhammad say he get message from Angel Gabriel. And Angel Gabriel talked to Muhammad alone. But when Jesus Christ come, hundreds and hundreds of people was there. They saw. They say, I was there. They had empirical evidence. Deathbed witness. They had historians spoke about it. Emperors, Pilate and Caiaphas. And all of them was there. So the Christian story is a very genuine story. And it helps us as people to have a better life. Respect for the elderly. Respect for orphans. Make charity. You can't say you don't have money to make charity. They say don't eat. There are one amount of fat people in Grenada. They're eating too much food. So during Holy Week, coming up for the Lenten, they encourage you to cut down on the amount of food you're eating. And that is healthy too. And the amount of money you save, give it to charity. So for instance, if you find a good rum drinker, and any good rum drinker that drinking every day, spend more than $10 a day to drink alcohol. If you're drinking 3 beers, 3 for 10, I don't know where you'll get 3 for 10 now. But for easy calculation, that means you're going to spend $3,650 at the end of the year. That's a lot of money. $10 a day, 30 days in the month, that's $300 a month. And when they bring you up for maintenance, the marshal charge you $150. You they crying, and say about the woman had to fix you here. $150 she charge you. When you're drinking 3 beers a day is a joke. Ask any good drinkers like me. That is a joke to spend. So if you give up alcohol, or you give up cake, or you give up ice cream, or you give up meat, the money you save, you give it to the poor. So you can't say you don't have money. Sometimes they tell you give up bad habits too. Give up cussing people, using obscenities. If you just beat your wife, it's a good time to stop. Unless he's a Muslim. Muhammad, the Quran say you could beat your wife. But Christian don't say that. Christianity say love your woman as you love yourself. They say wife, but these days fellas hardly married. So they say love your spouse as you love yourself. And women, they say respect your man. Respect. Some of you all have no respect. So to this Holy Week is a reminder. You go back and look internally. You watch your face in the mirror. And you realize that I could make some serious changes. And we're supposed to encourage that and discuss that with the children in your home. Explain to them the significance of Holy Week in the life. We will find better behavior. Our leaders must be reminded that they're not there to get rich. They're there to serve. They're not there not to give Pierre money. When you have to get him money, give him. Because you're there to serve. You see, we must remember that thing. So we use Holy Week to remind us. Because they say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. The flesh could be tempted easily. And the number to call is 4420175. So you have the Holy Week to do your kind of thing. 4420175. So you could give us a call and speak about Holy Week or any other week. But it's the most important period in Christianity. Holy Week. Maybe the Bible never said Holy Week, but the amount of activities that happen during that week. And that is why the cross is the biggest symbol of Christianity. The cross is the biggest symbol of Christianity. I think it was Peter that was executed on the cross. But Peter said, no, you can't kill me the way you killed Jesus Christ. So they turned the cross upside down and nailed Peter on the cross. Those guys say you're dying still. Whether you want to die upside down or not, it don't matter. So they turned Peter upside down. And John was the only disciple that was not martyred. And he lived to an old age. And they used to bring John. And they had to cover his head with something. He cold. And that's why you see the Pope and them wearing a Pope cap. They modernize it. But because John was an old man. You see some of the other religious, Christian religion with firebrand preachers. But because of John lived to reach old age. And because the manner in which he used to function, that culture developed in the Catholic Church, and most of the priests and preachers are not firebrand preachers. And John used to speak a lot about love. He's too old to prance up and down the stage. So most of the people after him took this gentle, persuasive, quiet manner of preaching. Important for us to know that. We must know why we do what we do. We have too much of people that don't know that. And that's why when you ask them and they are cornered, they're hiding or they're attacking you personally. Very important. Holy Week. So we expect people to behave very good this week. They may behave bad next week, but remember this week is Holy Week. So you must try. You do things in moderation. There are a number of customs that develop from it. For instance, on Maundy Thursday, the church starts stripping the altar. Take out everything for the altar because they're preparing for the execution of Christ. They strip the altar. These were not customs that was started, and the celebration of the commemoration of the Last Supper on Maundy Thursday, Holy Thursday, started in the 1st AD. Started very early. But other traditions developed as this thing going. For instance, the washing of feet. That wasn't there in the first in the AD1. These customs developed after. Other churches develop other customs. Have Seder meal and other things. These traditions develop after. Yes, scholar, welcome.
And good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my sister.
Yes, good discussion on Holy Week. Mr. Pierre, I echo your sentiments, yes, and I also like to say that Jesus Christ came and, born Christmas time we celebrate, then now his death, burial, and resurrection. And it goes on to say he ascended unto the Father, and when he's coming again, as we pray and fast this week, we tell ourselves that God is not coming again as a man. He's not coming as but he's coming as a judge. And he will judge every man according to his work shall be. And when you go to Revelation, it says, he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. I will judge every man according to the work shall be. So this week, as Christian people, we reflect on God and ourselves and analyze ourselves, meditate on the good things and the good behavior, and ask ourselves, are we ready to meet thy God? Thank you, Mr. Pierre, and happy Holy Week, and may God bless you.
Yes, scholar, thank you very much. We must know why we do what we do. Too much people don't know. You find Christians going to church every day. They have 9 Bible, they have jacket and tie. They're starting to ask people if you save, if you don't save. When you ask them questions, they don't know. You must know. You must have the courage of your own conviction. Particularly if you want to go judging people and saying, all Romans going to hell. When they pass and they see you by the rum shop, they skin up the mouth. They say, Lord have mercy, I can't go in heaven. No. You must know. And you must learn to be selfless. You must walk with humility. Yes, you get an opportunity to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, master's degree, but you come out in Ticolor. So you must remember the people from Ticolor and see how you could raise the bar on the block. But if you never go back on the block, how you go raise the bar? How you go raise the bar? You have to help. When you go on the block in Ticolor, if you have 12 followers, 9 ain't going to jail. Only lying about how they bad and all kinds of things. No lawyers on the block, no doctor on the block, no master's degree, no teacher on the block. So the block is going to deteriorate. But if you who from the community reach out to family members and help them, why is it we have so much homes for the aged in Grenada? Grenada have the most home for the aged in the Caribbean. Why? It shouldn't be. It ought not to be. Because Grenada have the most landowners in the Caribbean. So that means a lot of people in home have a little land. So some children not taking care of them. They're dropping them in the home. If they get a chance, they're taking the land and go. That is not good. Our society has been too infiltrated by the secular world and by the atheists. So they don't feel obligated to help one another. Why we have so much of our young men today living vagrant's life? Even in the rural Grenada, You have guys prowling the community and eating from garbage bin. Why that should be? People come from big families, but the family members not helping them. You see, you know when you have a mangy dog, nobody don't owning it? Just so they're doing with their brothers and sisters. All the time the dog was nice and fluffy, they cleaning it. As soon as the dog take minge, nobody want to own the dog. It's not right. We should not have all these young men prowling the street with vegan clothes on them, eating from the garbage bin. That should not be happening in Grenada. I'm not saying you don't have one or two that is mentally challenged. Some of them holding conversation with you. Sometimes you call the police and the police get them to bed and change their clothes, and they talk with you for a couple days till they get stressed and go back again. They're taking drugs. Some of the drug men of yesteryear regret. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, go ahead.
What is Maundy Thursday? Maundy Thursday.
Maundy Thursday.
Maundy Thursday, right?
All right, okay, thank you. But correct me, Maundy Thursday. You see, when you're struggling with English, you can't speak good English, much less you're trying to explain Latin and all kind of thing. Yeah, Maundy Thursday. Yeah, some say Monday, but not Monday could work too. English. Maundy Thursday. And it's commandment. And we must remember these things. We could be better people. And I always challenge, to whom much is given, much is expected. So the people who have had the opportunity to be more successful in society, to be more certificated, to be more educated, to be more privileged, they should be more humble. Because they have the power to recognize how much more they need to know. And they ought to be more selfless, more humble, and more ready to wash the feet of the community. That is what these things symbolize. You have to remember that. If we don't remember that, who is going to... We become too arrogant. We start to say, nobody help me. Nobody help me. A lot of the musicians like to say that. You don't know how I struggle. Other people help you. Number of people help you to get on. The bus driver that cross, the conductor that cross, that help you to cross the road so vehicle will bounce you down. The neighbors that call out to you when you go around. So people help us to achieve. Nobody achieve a rich with a rich without help. You ever hear any cricketer go and bat and nobody help him? He make 300 runs. He say, nobody will help him. The guy the next wicket, if he didn't know, you run him out. So you always have to. It's a team game. And man is a social being. So this week is a very important week. And it ends in joy. It ends in joy. Easter Sunday. So those of you who go to church, it's a solemn time. We have the freedom. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, bam, Sunday. We're celebrating. We're whining again. Sunday, Easter Sunday. People go on the beach, and how you celebrate? When you celebrate, you have music. It's a joyous time. And you eat and drink. That's the right time to celebrate. So all the sacrifices you have made, the penance you come up with throughout the Lenten period, Holy Week, you're more pious, you're more holy than thou. Easter Sunday, you get away again. But by that time, you are a better person. You remember that you need to be more humble. By that time, when Monday we come, we expect Deacon to apologize for considering Grenadians as classless and commoners and beggy. and instruct the members of his team not to use this terminology again. I expect the Minister of Agriculture to give me back my money. I expect him to go and give back the water in Maribor. Say, well, forget all that. Easter come, and that is what you call restorative, not retributive. Because now you think, you say, let's go back. Let us settle everything. Let's forgive one another and let's move on. So you don't go looking for victimization. You don't want to victimize people. And this is what Holy Week is supposed to do to us. It's supposed to remind us that we need to change. We could be better people. We could be more decent people. We must look out for our elderly, because it's Christianity that teach you to take care of the elderly, take care of the orphans and the widows among you. Take care of them. It's Christianity that teach you to give people what you have, not out of your excess. When you give them, you must feel it. Don't give them your old clothes or kind of thing like that. Say these old clothes are them blocking up the space. I don't know, room in my closet. So I'll give somebody old clothes. You garbage, you throw it. You don't want it. Well, sometimes the people well glad. But you don't get to know max for that in heaven. You must give of your good clothes. When you give, you must feel it. You must deny yourself and make sacrifice. And it makes a lot of sense. I have heard situation in Grenada. The people working in St. George's, they come up every evening and they're working hard and good people, you know. So every time they come up, they bring chicken for the children. You know the chicken they line up for it and make people fat. I don't know the name. But the neighbors smelling the chicken. And the neighbors' children get to hate the people's children because regularly they're getting chicken. And the neighbors only could smell it. You know, they have not done anything wrong by buying chicken every day or every week and bring up for the children to eat. They didn't do anything wrong, but the neighbors living close to them and they don't dealing with the neighbors. They genuinely don't have time because they leave home before 6 in the morning to go to work and they come back after 6. So they don't have time to interact with the neighbors. But the neighbors against them, because they said, them have money, they don't give in dog bone, you know. And make sure you hear this stuff. They don't give in dog bone. And the little children smelling the chicken. They're wicked. They're wicked. In Jamaica, they say bad boy, rich boy, and them bad too much. So shut them. All because get the neighbor, make time, and identify with the neighbor children. You have children growing up, make time, and identify with the neighbor children. And sometimes when you come home, you see neighbor children run your car. You think it's your dog that come here. They say you must give dog bone. Remember the woman in the Bible? We go to God, God said the food in the yard is for the dog in the yard. Same stories. You have to convert the Bible stories to your life now. And then you remind you, and then we will make better politicians. Because the politicians have stories. They have good stories. Not only stories of the slave ship, not only stories when they're beating black people, not only stories when they're taking advantage of you in slavery, but they have good stories of forgiveness and gentleness and selflessness and humility and service. And they are reminded as leaders, we're supposed to wash the neighbor's foot. Not actually washing the neighbor foot, because neighbor foot are more clean than the Persian foot, but it means identify with them, rub shoulders with them. Don't give the impression that your neighbors is beneath you, as it is promoted now by the NDC. They're promoting the privilegencia system, so they're better than people. They believe that some Grenadians is classless and commoners and dumb and stupid and beggy. No. Like, look at my brother Willie. He said, nice he making up in the night. When I appeal to my brother Ray, he said, dummy. And my cousin Blash cussing. So no, you have to recognize, listen to the message, forget the messenger, and examine the message and see if there is any genuineness in it. See if the message is true. And see if we act on the message, we could have a better society. We can't continue to have our young sons turning vagrancy in front of our own eyes. They're consuming addictive substances. Some of them is a little mental challenge, but we're treating them like dog that have mange. And they're outside, nobody giving them a piece of food, you know. Even Christmas time, these individuals are getting a decent plate of food to eat, you know. It saddens your heart when you see Christmas time and the vagrants still going in the garbage bin to it. Well, they might get some ham bone in the garbage bin. Small communities like us. What happened to us? We as a people have to prepare to have a second chance. The people who were not so successful, the people who the system let fall through the sifter, we have to give them another opportunity. Otherwise, they're going to turn on us. It is happening in some society already. Otherwise, your daughter might find them attractive. And your grandchild father might be in jail or might be a drug addict. Or your grandchild daughter might be considered as the worst human being in the village because you did not help her. Because you call her a commoner. And she deliberately went behind your son. She said, here what he calling me. And his son mouth on the ground as well. You don't know that woman that say that. They said man mouth on the ground. You have a pig stomach. The woman said this boy have a pig stomach. He eating anything he get. But his mother calling me no good. So it's the Bible that teaches us this thing. When you hear them communists opening their mouth and bawling about them, the opium of the people, the drugs of the people. They don't believe in morality. What does the communist stand for? Ask them. They don't believe in no God. Someone tell me about devil. But if you don't believe in God, how come you believe in the devil? I'm sorry for them sometimes, you know. When you have them in a conversation, they're stranded. Because they stand for nothing. And this is why these ideologies are so difficult to sell. You could speak about Christianity anyway, and you could present empirical evidence. If a man don't want evidence, he could run. You know, I was there. I see 11 people die. They were martyred. One remained John. They throw hot oil on him. He still lived to reach an old age. He's still preaching love. So I believe this week is an important week. And we must do everything in our power to remember, to remind ourselves. And Christians, I don't know of any Christian religion that don't have specific reverence for this week. They may not call it Holy Week. They might say it's a great week. I don't know any Christian religion that don't hold Mary as the greatest woman that ever lived. They say, Hail Mary, full of grace. The only woman in the Bible that is treated on such a pinnacle. Hail Mary, full of grace. And those Muslims have hold even in higher esteem. A whole chapter is written about Mary, and a whole chapter is written about Mary's family. So Mary is a significant player. And she was with Christ all the time. You think it's easy for a woman to watch his son, they give him 39 lashes. And then they crucify him on a cross. You think it's easy for any woman to watch his son, even a bad womankind? Not less for good holy Mary. So we have to have reverence for these things, and we have to be able to explain it to our children. And even we have doubt, it is better we are on the side of caution. Even if you have doubt, it is better you are on the side of caution, because all the individuals who are objecting, they don't have a better story. Ask the atheists what is their story. None. Ask them why they don't believe in nothing. They don't know. Ask the communists what is their story. None. No story they have. They're hiding and they're ducking. So I think it's important for us to talk about these things in Holy Week and relate it to our everyday life. That is where character come out. And morality, you have to have some level of morality. And respect, and truth, and genuineness. And when you speak in the truth, that mean you're popular. So they just decide, they say they go strangulate you, speaking the truth. So they want to find ways to silence you. But our people, you must not fret the truth. You must prepare to encourage the truth and encourage your children to speak the truth, and your neighbors and the politicians. Politicians are important in our life, you know. We have a democratic process in Grenada, and it is free and fair and free from fear. Since 1983, the government that won election, they won fair and square. So we selected the government that won. So if we have a bad government, we choose the government. You ain't going to blame nobody, you know. I see me a motley blaming me. Capitalism, you know. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr.
Yes, my brother, good to hear you.
How are you? Right, Mr. Pierre. I didn't hear nothing about World Food Day.
Your voice, your voice.
I didn't hear nothing about World Food Day this year.
World Food Day was supposed to be October 16?
October 16th.
Not October?
Yes.
Well, you come in.
Right.
We just did, we don't see in front of it.
Right.
We just did April. Next thing is May Day, man.
Maybe, right.
May Day.
Did you hold the Minister of Agriculture yesterday?
The minister line, this line minister?
He really lying, eh?
So you think it's joke? When I tell you NBC does plan lie, you think it's joke?
He really
They planning lie, and because they planning lie, we just holding them. And now we have tape. They don't realize we have tape and we keep it.
The letter came from the minister's office, sent to the different person that using the water. And the minister pretend that he wasn't aware of that at all.
The minister lie. You think it's joke like the lie, Mr. Bishman? I never see that all through the history of the service. You ever see that before?
No.
I never see ministers like so.
That surprised me.
You surprised you still?
Yeah.
So all these 2 years I tell you they planning lie, you think it's
Well, I prove it, you know. Because I can't understand. The letter was there. A gentleman even hold it up and show him, but the letter was there, and the lady was on the chief agronomist was on the air.
What happened to them is that the Rasta objected. They thought they could have intimidated the Rasta. But this Rasta and them tired get tricked. So the Rasta speak out. So because the Rasta speak out, and he works with the farmers, some in the agriculture sector, you know this, we used to call them temporary, supernumerary, whatever workers. Yeah. So because of that, he farms also in Maryborough near the hospital. But it wasn't no politician that bring him there, the administrator of the hospital. So then he decided to clip the Rasta wings. So when they belong the Rasta in town, you know. But the Rasta, they're more interested in how this video come on the internet. I think to ask people this modern day, everybody have phone.
I getting kind of low understanding them fellas.
Well, if you listen to me, I tell you when I'm speaking the truth. And since they can't take me on, and you see how I dare them to take me on.
They don't behave like people, you know.
You see, they're vindictive.
The minister say he's going to ask now, sir, to put back the water. I mean, who the minister think he's talking to liquor school children?
Talking to Rasta?
You want to ask the now, sir, to put back the water.
The minister lie. The minister go in parliament and say, you have money there. You have money. Just go inside with your card. So you're not going to test the system. I didn't expect them to give me, but I say if I don't apply, I don't have a voice.
But you have a right to give you because that's what they say.
Well, when I heard the amount of agriculture farmers that doing stronger farmers than me, I don't get.
You say from nothing at all to 5 acres.
Yeah.
You entitled to 4,000.
No, I'm entitled to 9,000.
Yeah.
Well, you don't give me say, don't give him. Can talking. And Cocoa Association didn't give it to you. The woman Cocoa gave this money.
Yes.
They didn't give me. They say, when I go, but I didn't bother because I know once NDC in power, they're very vindictive. But I was even surprised at the depth they go this time. One guy tell me, I doesn't interfere in politics. But they say your wife is an NNP. And the man's a good farmer, but they don't give him. And BJ said they give him 4,005.
Yeah.
And one farmer, 30 acres of land, he come to me. He wanted me to come on the farm to do a program, but I tell him I don't like breaking news. So he said, he had 30 acres of land, they give him 4,005. I say, you doesn't interfere in politics? He tell me, no, I doesn't interfere in politics, but he say, I have a son that has already opened up his mouth. I say, well, they take you for your son. So that is how they go on. It's sad, but you know that is the worst group.
Yeah.
You ever find out the reason they cut down Belvedere nutmeg?
To plant nutmeg. They cut down Belvedere nutmeg to plant banana.
But you find
no.
Right.
Okay. No, and today we need nutmeg.
Yeah, well, they say nutmeg price go up, so. But NEC has always been like that. Yeah. That is same said that one to when they said about truck to pick guava and mango, you find that it makes sense?
Well, I was the first person to condemn it. I said the parents and what he said when
4420175.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All extension officers at that time condemn it. Yes. So the National Democratic Congress have a history of planning lies. And where agriculture is concerned, that is the most destructive group in Grenada for agriculture. How they deceive people is they beat the chest and they say they're bright and smart. But they have never done anything smart. So somebody could call me and tell me what NDC did in all the years you know NDC. That look at it was creative and original and smart. When the NNP come up with the Imani program, I didn't see this one. And I thought that was a masterpiece. An opportunity to provide a second chance for people who is not competitive on the job market. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Go right ahead, my brother.
Listen, make that make sense to me. The same Grenada that you fight the Grenada government with. Well, WRB or whatever you call that. That is the same that people are to come and ask now to lend you the truck.
And which big company are going to the truck? Show me $1,000.
Mr. Pierre, don't even talk. If I ask you, okay, me and you moving good enough every day. Me and you together every day. Just lend me the van to go down the road. You can give it. A company. A company, you know, that is what they're using to do the work. You will lend it in the night and you're on a road to go where you're going.
I bring you a Greek rum instead. Yeah. Yes, Colin. Yes, my brother. Welcome.
Yeah, quick question.
Yeah.
Who did your ancestors coming from Africa used to worship prior to slavery, prior to when they were converted to Christianity?
Next question. How much question you asking? One?
You don't have you don't have an answer for that?
Only one question you asking? Ask all the questions I go answer you.
No, I want you to answer that one first, and then I can follow up.
I don't know who they used to worship, but Christianity was in Africa before Europe. I don't know who they used to worship, but Christianity was in Africa before we go in Europe.
Right. Well, I'm happy that you said that because Christianity was plagiarized from ancient Egypt, which was known as Kemet. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. Christianity is the only religion in the world that you have empirical evidence, deathbed witness that exists. Africa had a lot of different deities, and maybe when the Christian come there, some people used to worship 12 God and an unknown God. And the Christian said this unknown God is the most important God. Because them Christians smart too, you know. They like to go in your culture and take and when they reach in your culture, they push the God in it. I don't know who my grandfathers used to worship. But by the time they come in region, I know them is Poto Legli, strong Christian. You know color? The color God. Yes, I don't know who but as long as I could remember, my four parents was Poto Legli, strong Catholics. And they bad on the Holy Week. When Good Friday come, I used to go and kill someone. Someone and them not doing that. But we know no meat during that time. So when Easter Sunday come, we dive in back in meat. And we had to pray the prayers and etc. So I grew up normally with these people who believe in Christianity. And I have to always say to people, the Africa was selling slave 700 years before white people go and buy. And Christianity did not start in Europe. Christianity was in Africa before you go in Europe. All Israel and then we put them in Europe. So that's the situation. But whether Christianity started in Europe or not, when you look at the teachings of Christianity, it kind of look good. And it tends to help you to live a better life. Forgive, humility, selflessness, service. Forgiveness is the most important thing in Christianity. So whether you believe in hell or heaven or you don't believe in hell and heaven, the morality package with Christianity seems much more palatable and acceptable. And as we come to we have more time for a caller. We have time. Yes, we have time. We could take another caller or two. We always believe in individuals calling. We know we gave the session today a heavy Holy Week swing, but that doesn't mean that if you have something different, you can speak about. We spoke about the home for the aged. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
And good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. Well, I can't talk much about the Holy Week and the Easter thing because I'm not too much educated in that field. But what I want to draw attention to, remember we always talk about the Prime Minister's residence and how much he's paying, right, to live every month, all right? And it's an issue I will not stop talking about because I think it is wrong, all right? It is wrong for the office of the Prime Minister and for the royal politicians to support something like that. If they want to, look, before the man became Prime Minister, he was living in a comfortable home. right? Now, if the government has to pay him to live in his house, I am not in disagreement with that. I agree with that. Because you understand, if you say, okay, a day is not, but instead of that, you leave your home and go and rent somewhere else where you're paying over $20,000 a month, costing taxpayers in excess of $700,000 so far, right, for rent. That is unconscionable. I mean, Grenadians must look at it not just because you're hearing me talk about it. Sit down and think about it for yourself. Is it right? Is it that the right thing for this government to do, to support something like that? I mean, it's just something that's mind-boggling. Anyhow, Mr. Pierre, have a good day.
I agree with you, caller. It is definitely mind-boggling. And that is when you speak about humility and genuineness and washing the feet of people. This thing don't look as washing feet. This is arrogance. The Prime Minister is a pathogenic parasite. He leech on the coffers of the Treasury. Look at how the Prime Minister flaunt the law. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good day, sir.
You have something ringing in the back there. Cut it off. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, what I want to say to you is I'd like you to read the Bhagavad Gita as it is. That is the name of the scripture. Bhagavad Gita as it is.
You must give me a copy. I had a copy once and I lost it.
Yeah.
You could get a copy for me?
Yeah, I'll try and do that.
Right, so no problem.
Then you will understand what God and His creation and everything is really, really all about. Thank you, sir.
You could get a copy for me in your shop close to me, good.
All right, good.
All right, my brother. Yes, I had a copy in the ancient time, but there is one of them religion that or you call a fellow that was involved in this religion too. Vigor one, what religion they was in? Is a Krishna religion. We have a few Krishna in the country. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I understand that marketing board will be formed next week or so, and the new board will be announced.
Okay, well, we wait and see what version that. If it's the same version, then we just change them.
Yeah.
And we see like to do it.
You heard about it back on?
I don't hear anything.
And you don't know the composition of the board?
No, NC just changed name at it. They changed CIB to IMMA and same damn thing.
Because if we don't do it well this time, with the kind of price...
But we still have hope that NDC could do something right in agriculture?
Well, I mean, we have hope.
Well, I mean, but NDC never get anything right, you know. You remember they fired 31 workers from Grenada Estate? The same estate they say that good for weed. And then they fired the people who was involved in the cotton scale insect management in Source.
Yeah, we had to put a good team.
And up to today, where they will get this good team, you don't see NDC only putting strong NDC members, long yellow.
That's true.
Where they will get a good team, they do exist.
You see, with what's going on, you have to have a good team.
So, but where they go get the team? Well, I think now is a good time to pray for NDC and hope they can go and visit one of them church where they washing foot.
Well, I will do some praying for that.
Yeah, where they washing foot for you to understand the humility involved in service. You really expect NDC to do something good? Yeah, it's difficult. Yes, we want to thank everybody for participating in our program today. And as usual, we encourage you to call and participate. Within the hour, if we get 10 calls, we always feel good. And we want you to share, like our program, and you don't have to argue with us because we just provoke discussion. Thank you very much.
It's so beautiful to see. Really? Spice Island of the West. Lovely. And in the West Indies, I say Grenada, please. Overwhelmingly glad we are to be of our country. Foreigners have recommended it highly. hand in hand for a better land of people who can understand that business brighter out of darkness.